Hey guys, welcome to the 66th C programming tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at another memory function called memcmp. And the memcmp function simply allows you to compare two chunks of memory to see whether or not they're equal to one another. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this tutorial. We're just going to be checking to see whether or not these two integer arrays are equal to one another. And just make sure that before you start you've included the string header file at the top, because the memcmp function, just like many of the other memory functions, are prototyped inside of this file. Alright, so let's just say that we wanted to compare these two chunks of memory right here. Well, to do that, like I said before, we're going to be using the memcmp function. So the memcmp function takes three parameters. The first two are just pointers to the memory that you want to compare. So we want to compare the memory at nums1 and nums2. And then the third parameter is just the size of that memory in bytes. So we're just going to say size of nums1. And anytime that you've created an array on the stack, you can just use the size of operator to get the size of it in bytes. But if you would have created this on the heap, so if you would have created it using malloc or something, then this won't work. So once you've got this all set up right here, we're not just going to leave it like this. We want to check and see whether or not they actually are equal, so we're going to have to be using an if statement. So we're going to say if, and then inside of here we're going to say if it's equal to 0. So if memcmp returns 0, then that means that these two pieces of memory right here are equal. So if this returns 0, then we know that they're equal, so we're just going to go ahead and print out onto the screen they're equal, and then end the line. Alright, and then if they're not equal, then we'll just go ahead and print out that they aren't equal. So printf they're not equal. Alright, so when we run this, we should just get they're equal out onto our screen because these two arrays are identical. So when we run this, we should just get, this, like I said. Alright, so if we were to change one of these numbers in here, so if I were to make this like a 4 or something, then obviously these two arrays aren't equal, so we should get they're not equal out onto the screen. And yep, perfect. Alright, so let me make this back to a 2, and I'll change this to a 6. So now let's just go in Paint and see what's actually going on behind the scenes. So, alright, so here we have our two arrays. We have nums1 and nums2. And don't worry about where these are exactly in memory. We know they're on the stack, but that's not really what we're talking about in this tutorial. We're talking about comparing memory. So I just drew the picture this way so that you could visualize it a little bit better. Alright, so like I said, we have nums1 and nums2. And this drawing is in fact parallel with what we have up here. So in nums1 we have the numbers 1, 2, 6, and 4, and in nums2 we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, alright. So once again, every integer takes up 4 bytes, so this right here is an integer, and this is an integer, and so on. Alright, but memcmp doesn't know that. It compares them byte by byte. So it comes right here and just compares this byte to this byte right here. If they're the same, then it moves on. So it just keeps going until it finds 2 bytes that aren't equal. So it just keeps going all the way down here until it gets to this 6 and this 3. Well, the 6 is obviously not equal to the 3. So what it does is it checks to see if this byte is larger than this byte. So if this number is greater than this number, then it will return a positive number. And if this number is less than this number, then it will return a negative number. So since the 6 is greater than the 3, memcmp should return a positive number. So if we just go out right here and print out what memcmp returns, then it should be a positive number. It could be 1, it could be 255, we don't know. So we're just going to say printf, and this just returns an int, so modulus I, and then we just want to print out whatever memcmp returns. So I run this and we should get a positive number out onto the screen. Yep, we get a 1. And if we were to make this number less than this number, then we should get a negative number. So if I made this like a 0 and run this, then we should get a negative number out onto our screen. Yep. Alright, so that's pretty much all there is to memcmp. It's pretty simple and it's a very useful function. Alright, so see you guys.